The toxic maximalism, I know there's a need for it in some ways. I get it. I've talked to so many Bitcoiners about this over time. But if you're a parent, if you've ever been a parent, you're a grandparent, you're a good uncle or a good aunt, you're not going to get anywhere being toxic with your children. You're not ever going to get them to jump in. I mean, you could be a drill sergeant and be up their ass, but most likely they're going to rebel in one way or another. So that toxicity is only going to get people so far. And yes, we need to stand incredibly strong to our values. But there is a way to articulate these things to people and actually get through to them. So I think there should definitely be a better balance of that. When I got into Bitcoin early on, there was way more of a balance with it. I come from the cannabis industry, and that's what I left when I found Bitcoin. And it was very similar. So Bitcoiners, hear me out. I grew up around a lot of small farmers, a lot of mom and pops out there that we all like work together in one way or another. It was sharing our seeds, sharing our strategies and different methods. And there's a new bug, and how do we compete against this new bug? And we would all work together on finding organic ways to fix these different problems we had. And these communities were amazing. And then it started going from what we had was called Prop 215, where it was legal, but it was really gray. Very similar to where we've been with Bitcoin up until right around 2024. It's been very gray. What are the actual legal answers out there? Well, there's not really any, but we're still operating. So that was the cannabis industry from like 1996 up until 2014. 2014, they finally passed a law in California, and then these laws started kind of going all over the place. Canada, it started really migrating with the legalizing cannabis and actually coming out with guidelines for the first time. And when this started happening, well, now you have big money coming in. So very, very similar to what's going on with Bitcoin. And when the big money came in, a lot of these small farmers, which you could call them the plebs that have been stacking Bitcoin early on and got good prices and good entries, good people, amazing people. But when big money came in, it started changing so many different psychological points of people. And it was no longer mom and pops and friends and family working together and helping each other so that everyone could succeed. It started turning into a real competition between each other. And there was only going to be so many people in each area that were able to succeed because the market started becoming saturated. So the competition blew up like crazy, and you have friends that have worked together for decades that are now battling against each other. And they're all battling for that investor that's going to come in. What farm is that investor going to pick up, or what farm is that dispensary going to partner up with? And it really got incredibly scary and honestly disgusting, the way that everyone was turning on each other. What ended up happening to the cannabis industry? Mom and pops are gone. The market is destroyed, and the only people left are the big companies that came in and capitalized on the fact that it was really easy to get everyone to turn on each other really quick. And they didn't really even need to compete. They literally just stood back and let the mom and pops destroy each other. And then they came in and picked up the pieces at a massive discount. These farms that some of these people had for decades were picked up at a discount. If we're not careful, a lot of these similarities are going to happen in the Bitcoin space. All of these companies that have been around since everyone thought Bitcoin was a complete scam and there's no way, we all have to work together. If we turn into a massive competition with each other, it's going to be very similar. You're going to have the big companies with big money that can outdo us, whether it's like maybe we have big stacks of Bitcoin and we can compete when it comes to how much we can pay to produce an amazing product. But can we compete when it comes to the business strategies that these companies have that they've honed in for decades themselves? We don't have those strategies. Not all of us. I don't have those strategies. I have to be way more strategic in the way of putting out an amazing product and working with as many Bitcoiners as I can, Bitcoin companies. That's why we have the resource cards and all the things we do. The books that you see behind you and Brandon's, We are trying to collaborate with as many Bitcoiners as we can, because we are only strong as a community if we work together. If we start competing with each other, and you can't come on my podcast because you were on this other guy's podcast, or you're starting your own. No. We really have to be those mom and pops that were here in the beginning, that have the ethos, that have the heart, that have the conviction to put out the best quality content for the embetterment of everybody. Because what's going to come in, if we don't, is going to be what we talked about in the beginning, which are these financial advisors that shit on Bitcoin the whole entire time. But then they've been doing this forever. They have the clients. They're going to come in and they're going to co-opt this thing. And the ethos of waking people up, which that is the point of Bitcoin. It's not just about number go up at all. It's about waking people up to truth. And decentralization is the only way you're going to find truth. So that's my biggest fear right now, is that if this toxicity continues and it pushes harder, I mean, I see cancel culture in the Bitcoin community. What the fuck is going on? No. We do not need cancel culture in the Bitcoin community. That is some far left crap where freedom of speech is not allowed. And if someone is saying something that you disagree with, then they should be canceled. No, they should be argued with. They should definitely have a conversation started. And if you want to go back and forth and throw some slurs, that's great. We're humans. Like, I have no problem with that. But trying to cancel someone out of the space because they're doing something you disagree with, that is the exact opposite, in my opinion, of what Bitcoin is about. Bitcoin is about freedom more than anything else, because without freedom, Bitcoin means nothing. Like, BlackRock can do whatever they want with Bitcoin at that point. The price can go wherever it wants to go. If we don't have the freedom that comes along with Bitcoin, it didn't do anything. So that is my fear of the toxicity and my pledge myself. But hopefully the scream to the Bitcoiners out there, everybody, please work together. Find a way to work together. And if someone is doing something you disagree with, someone's buying shit coins or whatever it is, talk to them, have those conversations. But as long as they're not hurting anybody else, allow them their freedom, because that is the ultimate point. And a lot of people, they need to fall on their face. They need to experience the loss and watch these shit coins go to the moon and crumble right in front of their eyes in order for them to understand the difference. So telling them over and over, screaming at them, bring it back to the kids. You're not going to get anywhere screaming at your kids and being toxic with them to get them to listen to you, respect your opinion, and appreciate what you have to say. The only way you're going to get through to them is with compassion. And I know it's really difficult. I get it. I've been in the space a long time. When you see the degenning go to the level it is, and when people shill that crap, it really triggers me and pisses me off. So I'm not saying forgive necessarily and allow people to go out there and try to push shit coins and gambling on other people. If I've ever heard anybody say, hey, we should go to the casino, this is the best thing we could do. How much money do you have? Let's go to the casino and I mean, we could win. It's the stupidest shit ever. And I would definitely call someone out on it. And that's a lot of what shit coining is. But try to have the compassion when you're talking to friends and family. And that is, you have to break through their ego, and you're not going to break through their ego being an asshole. I'll tell you that.
I would love for you to kind of touch on this battle that Bitcoiners, where none of us are immune to this issue we ride into with this fiat, marketing, sales world we still live in. We still live in two worlds. Bitcoiners live in two worlds, and that's what's very hard for the average person to understand.
If you want the answer to that question right there, and you like that spicy clip, check it out here. Come on, we'll see you in there. But if you want the full interview in its entirety, all the spicy clips put together, and you're not going to want to miss it, believe me, then check that out here. Come on, we'll see you in there. Good night.